Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Ian.is.weird. So today I'm going to try to make my replica of this Furls hook case with some leather, and I'm going to see how it goes. I have really enjoyed using this case, but want to see if I can make my own because I've been getting into working with leather and why not now? So we'll start with some crafting, and then I also want to do. Watch a movie later, and then also crochet, work on my mosaic crochet that I started last night. So let me just cut this pattern out that I made based off of what Furls had. I would like to make it my own as much as possible, not rip off someone else's design. It's not really my thing. But I do want to start with kind of what they did, see if I can kind of replicate that to some degree. And then, if I can make it my own a little bit, that would be really cool. So so I got the felt that I needed finally because I kept forgetting to get it, and I'm super excited to give this a little try. So I made this pattern the other day on a live. Got some specs for the little strap that they did. Now they machine sewed everything. I will be hand sewing everything. I am using thicker leather. I'm not even sure this is actually leather, which it's okay if it's not. It still serves a great purpose, but I don't really know how to work with non-leather for leather-like projects. Barely know how to work with leather for leather-like projects. So let's give this a try. Now, what I have is a lot thicker than what they use, so I am making some modifications for my own pattern. But this is a double shoulder that I got, and we're going to see what we can do with it. So I have my pattern pieces right here, and I'm going to go ahead and score around it with my awl, because if I tried to cut directly around this very thin pattern that I have, I wouldn't even know that I was cutting into it by the time I cut into it, you know. It's very thin, and the blades you have to use to cut through leather are very, very sharp. So it would cut right into it, and I would be none the wiser. None the wiser. So I'm just kind of scratching at the edge of the pattern, the bottom. Probably would have helped if I used my ruler, but I only have so many hands, y'all. So that is one piece, and this is the next piece. So we'll just line that up right next to it. And we'll just go like this. So when I was making the pattern, I did use a ruler to keep my lines nice and straight. But now We're just going by hand and the patterns that I've cut out. Yep. Okay, and we'll just throw our all. Okay, so now these pieces do have some indentations on them and marks. If I wanted to really avoid that and keep it looking as smooth as possible, I could have avoided those places, but that's not highest priority for me right now, especially in the initial stages of making this. So now I'm going to take my metal roller, and I got a new blade because I wasn't happy with how wobbly my other blade was. This one is gonna be a little bit easier to replace the blades. It's a more standard size blade, and it's cheaper than doing a craft knife or an X-Acto knife. So this one also, so this was $197 at Walmart, and it came with 5 replacement blades. So hard to argue with that pricing for sure. Now comes with a blade installed already, and I'm going to, here's my roller right here. I'm gonna go in right here and be as precise and careful as I can be. Reposition my hands, settle back into the groove that I've already started to cut, and move all the way down off the leather. So that actually cut through this thickness of leather one pass, which is pretty cool. I have a self-healing mat underneath my leather, so that I don't have to worry about cutting anything that can't be that will not be self-repairing. I'm going to go ahead and cut up here. And then I'm going to pull this piece up before I cut the rest of it off. Just gonna hope that it just lays out of my way a little bit and roll that over. And then I'm gonna cut the other piece right here. Okay. And then now I'm going to sheath my blade so I don't hurt myself. If you want to chat in the comments, please feel free to chat with me. I like talking, so sometimes I like talking. So this is what I came up with for yesterday's trial where I did the marbling. I don't know if you can quite see some of the colors. I used purple, like a kind of neon purple, neon green, and neon orange on top of this very light colored leather to get a kind of marbled effect. Kind of had to go in and manually do some of the work to kind of make the colors pop a little bit more. But I think because it's over a natural leather color rather than over a white, some of the colors didn't pop as much as I wanted them to, but it's still a pretty cool result, and I'm pretty happy with it. Isn't the ultimate Halloween fantasy that I had hoped for? Not quite, but that's okay. And so I'm going to take this, and I'm going to cut. Make sure you get into like a locked position so your blade's not flopping around. Okay, so this is one piece right here. And then I have my smaller piece over here. As I was cutting from this side, I noticed that the leather started to kind of move a little bit, so I want to make sure that we're not having that slide around. I'm going to have to reposition my hands a little bit, but that is that. And I guess if I'm going to be staining soon, I should go ahead and cut a little piece for the thing. So, okay, so I want about maybe like a 4-inch strip of leather for the band that's going to go across. So let me see how much taller this is. And that's about 6 inches. And that's about 5. Move this over to this side. This is a little awkward, but sometimes the standing benches are a little bit easier. Now, I'm going to make mine a little bit thicker than what they have on the furls one, because I want to be able to, I'm going to be stitching it, and the stitch width that I have, I want to be able to get at least a couple stitches in it widthwise, because that'll help secure it and keep it from wiggling. If you just have one stitch, it's just gonna wiggle all the way. Okay, sheath your blade. We got our little cut. It's about 5 inches, which is more than I need. Oh, I have this. Should have used that. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, you know. So then I'm gonna retie my leather up so it's not just flopping around. How's everyone doing today? I feel like today was like the longest Monday. Oh my gosh. And sometimes Mondays are extra, really a lot of long, but this felt like, oh my gosh, can I please just get a break? Yeah. So now on both of these two, I'm gonna need, actually in all these pieces, I'm gonna need to do a little bit of trimming. On the longer piece, I'm gonna need to flatten out the bottom, and then I'm gonna wanna curve the top. It's not mandatory that I do, but it's just a nice look to it. Now, there are, and I've mentioned it before, there are punches for rounding out edges that exist. I don't have any of those. So I'm just going to kind of go based off of what I sketched. And then I'm also going to cut off any unevenness at the bottom. Hey, Lydia, how are you? You went back to work today, didn't you? How was that? I hope that wasn't too bad. I know that that was definitely something that you were having trouble with, so I I hope it was a lot easier than you expected. I really hope so. I do find it's harder to get like a nice super round edge. I've seen people do it, but I just don't know how they do it. Work, yeah. That's what I thought you were saying the other day. Don't remember what day that was, but I thought I remember you saying you were going back to work today. So that's kind of as round as I could get. Just in an initial try, might like. I feel like I always try to make it like a little bit rounder, a little bit rounder, a little bit rounder, and then it's like they're so uneven. And it's not like a piece of fabric where you could fold it over and make sure that the sides match. Because, or if you, yeah, did I say fabric? I don't know. Because like it's just not as. Most of these pieces aren't as like pliable. As just your typical fabric piece. Leather is definitely a different thing to work with, but it's fun. I mean, it's really cool, and it's cool to see all the different things you can make with it. But do I have a lot to learn? Yes, I do. I do indeed. So I'm gonna go in. I'm actually gonna take my set square because I really want to make sure that this is a 90-degree angle. Just cutting it really lightly as to not disturb the leather position underneath too much. And then I'm going to go in with my really thin, work with slow. I'm very exhausted because I'm not being, oh yeah, I bet. But I mean, I hope that like it being slow kind of made it a little bit easier for you today, being your first day back, right? Although I know that makes the day go by a lot slower. Should I turn on the fan? Yes. Will I? Probably not. Okay, so this piece is cut. And now I'm going to do the same for this one. Now this just has a little bit at the end, and I feel like the set square, especially seeing what I saw with the other piece, is just going to make it harder. So I'm just going to kind of try to use my ruler. Oh, this cuts so much easier. It's insane. So I have these two pieces, and then I have this one that I'm going to cut to about maybe a little, I'll cut to 4 inches. Get out every way. Cut 4 right there. Make sure it's locked in there. Definitely needs to slip and slide all over the place. Okay. So knife is sheath. And I will continue to say that so that I remember it myself. So I'm going to stain all of these pieces because I have one dye, and that is a green dye because I like green. But first, before I do that, I'm going to stamp this with my little smiley logo. Should I do one stamp or multiple stamps? I feel like one stamp is like not enough. What should I do? I'm just gonna kind of stamp it all over. Let's have fun. It's gonna be a little loud. Heads up. Wow, I'm definitely not used to having leather this thin. I'm like, wow, it got wet. Wet really, really, really fast. Okay, so you want to wet your leather before you stamp it, and this will also help. Why does it look like that? Okay, I'll fix that once it's dry because I don't want to do that wet. I'm gonna get my stamp and my mallet. Oh, I still have this on here. So the table's gonna move a little bit, and it might be the tiniest little bit loud, but it shouldn't be too bad. So I'm just gonna So Lydia, I am working on a kind of replica of something I got from Furls a couple years ago for free. It was like included with my hooks that I had bought, and it's a hook holder that protects your hooks while you're traveling. Also keeps them from getting hung up on projects in your project bag. And so I'm doing something similar with some leather that I have because I've been trying to get into leatherworking, and this seemed like a cool project to kind of try. So let me put a couple more up here. So the hook holder, it looks like this. This is from Furls. It says Furls on it. It's a piece like this, and this is my candy shop hook. And it will hold your hook securely in there, protect the hook head, and it's holds it like this. So I've been trying to think about different ways to do this. I'm also going to stamp the... Should I stamp this? That seems cool. Sure, let's go for it. Why not? Should get rid of some of the textural differences. And hurts holding the stamp. My hands are so just like not made for doing any kind of task here. So I just kind of was turning the smiley in different directions. You can see kind of what this looks like on the leather itself. Just kind of embosses the stamp shape onto the leather. So that needs to dry, and it shouldn't take long to dry. This piece that I really got very wet. I don't know if it needs to dry, but I feel like it should. So now I got to figure out what's going on, what I did with this, and mine's so crappy. Set square is a lot stronger. I need a better metal roller, but all in due time, my pretties. Now, something I am gonna do now, I suppose, why not, is I'm going to just kind of like nip the corners to make them less like pointy. And just at the bottom of both of the front and the back. So you'll notice that the bottom, the inside piece of the bottom is wider. That's because they did pleating to make this kind of three-dimensional. So it's sewn flat here at the bottom, you can see, but it's actually just one piece of fabric that they laid, and they just fold it over on itself and then sewed it like that. So that's what we're going to be doing something similar to. So now that I've done that, I'm also, while these are drying, before I set up my like dye station. Put the blade up, that was out. I'm gonna cut my felt. Now, felt is different. Some. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of Taylor's chalk, and what I find typically I like to do for things like this is you could pin it. That probably would be the best thing to do, but I've ripped through paper like this so easily before that I'm just not gonna even bother. Is I'm gonna take that chalk and go over those edges, and it's gonna create kind of like a negative of where I should cut my pattern of felt. The felt is going to go on the inside, so it's going to be on the inside closest to the hook, just on the longest part of the leather. So I just laid this down. Instead of trying to run it on the edge and potentially ripping my pattern, I just had my pattern down, and I just pushed away from the inside to the outside of the pattern, so that I had something like this. Now I'm gonna see if I can just like cut through this. Like, I don't doubt it'll cut. Maybe. But I just want to see if it cuts the same. Okay, so it does cut through relatively nicely. So I can get like a nice clean line at least right there on the side. So make sure you're all on the mat. So sheath your blade. And then going in with some scissors and going around that outside edge that's curved. Now, this is the best material I could think of when it came to something that would adhere with contact cement. But it's still somehow smaller. Okay. Is it possible that the water or embossing made it bigger? I don't know. I don't know these things. Actually, it's pretty much the same size. It's just at the bottom. Maybe my Maybe I got a little off track with or it could just be that I'm not good at this. Also very possible. But first time, gotta try something eventually. So I'm gonna put this back in my sewing box so I don't forget it. I like lose it. I guess lose it is probably a better way to put it. So so this now I'm gonna take a plastic bag and use that as a kind of mobile dye station. So I don't get it on my workstation. And gloves. So for this, I'm going to actually before I dye it and bevel my edges, just create nice. Okay, I have a glove on. I don't think I did, but we'll see. Okay, so it does not really want to bevel when it's wet. Okay, good to know, good to know, good to know. Learning experience, learning experience. Okay, so I can bevel this, right? This actually doesn't work that well on this thickness of leather. So I got it for a thicker piece of leather, and now it's a little bit too big for that. So we're not gonna do that. Okay, cool. Let's work. Okay. Okay, so this is the Feedings Green Pro Dye. And while you can apply it with a Q-tip, most people apply it with this like cotton dauber, like this. Could have picked a, more conspicuous spot. I'm not lining the inside of the front with felt because it's not necessary. Because also what we're doing and what I can do while we're waiting for this to dry is we're going to be taking this plastic canvas and we're going to be cutting it into shape because this is going to give it some of the rigidity that this has. So what you can't see is that in between the two layers of leather, whatever they have, whatever thin material this is, there's some kind of piece of like acetate or something. The closest I could find of something that I already had was plastic canvas. This is what you can use to like do plastic canvas things with. I don't even know what it's called when you use a plastic canvas for things, but let me show you somewhere. Here it is. So I'm going to take my pattern and I'm going to go over the plastic bag because I don't want it to get on my mat. So the side is already straight. So this eliminates some of our work. So if you want to give this a second to dry, you cut right into it. You're going to have black all over your shit. So we're actually going to be cutting inside the shape. You can cut exactly the shape and then trim it in from there. But we're going to want to cut a little bit inside so that our contact cement can make a really good bond from our felt to our leather around the perimeter of the plastic canvas. Because I'm not quite sure the efficacy of the contact cement on the plastic canvas itself. That's what testers are for. Okay. So I'm just going to take this and so here's the shape. So I'm going to start by going, let's say I'm going to go in 2 blocks in from wherever the edge was. So I'm going to kind of try to keep track. I have to go 2 from each side, but then it'll hopefully be centered. Okay. Let's go on this side first. And I'm going to try to keep any sharp edges from being exposed because I don't want those to poke through. I don't want those to poke through the felt. But this is going to give it a little bit more rigidity without me having to add an extra layer of leather and make it too thick. And hopefully that'll give the look we want. Because I just have the thickness of leather I have. It would be pretty expensive to go have to buy like another thickness of leather just to do this. So now 2 down from that is here, 2 down from that is here. So I'm just going to kind of roughly get this shape. That. And then anything that's pokey that might poke through. Gonna make sure is not. So there's no like just pieces just poking out right there. So it looks like I have a little fence. Can you see that? It looks like little picket fence. I get really amused by the smallest things, apparently. Okay. So now I'm gonna try the contact cement and the felt first. I also have Loctite vinyl fabric and plastic glue because I was going to use that to for my Summerween jack-o'-lantern, jack-o'-melon. I was going to use that to glue pieces of plastic canvas together, and that's what the internet said would work the best. However, let's try the contact cement, because if everything could be held together with contact cement, that would be cool. Okay, so I also used this contact cement on my hip pads because we needed to add some more on a place that I'd cut off a little bit too much, and that seemed to have worked pretty well, so that's pretty cool. So this contact cement comes with a little brush on the inside. I'm just going on the felt directly to glue, hopefully, the God, this stuff smells very strong. You should probably do this in a well-ventilated area. Do as I say, not as I do. Always, pretty much. It's just general rule. So I'm putting that right in the middle. So it already looks like it's got some sticking power, so that is a good sign. So now that we have that, and we're going to let it dry a little bit. Let me turn the fan on. Let's go ahead and start the process of dyeing. Kind of get all of my stuff squared away, ready to go. Guess I haven't opened this yet. Oh yeah, I didn't get a chance to. Okay, just put my thumb right into the dye. Another reason why we wear gloves. So if you are like, I don't want to wear gloves, all the stuff, think about what you're doing. You are dyeing leather. Leather is made out of animal hides. You yourself are an animal, meaning that you can get dyed from this. So just food for thought. So I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna start working in small circular motions all around the leather. Oh, this green is so gorgeous. And you can start with one coat. You can layer it up as you to get your desired effect. It's actually very easy to dye leather. I don't know why I thought it was going to be a really difficult, hard process, but it's actually very easy, which is nice because I do like when things are easy on me. They aren't always, so do appreciate it. Yeah, make sure you're wearing gloves. Small circular motions is going to provide the most even coverage. One coat, you might not get the most even, so just keep that in mind and keep an eye on your project and how you want things to look. Wow, I picked up a lot on that one. Now the color is going to look different when your leather's wet, when the dye is wet, all that stuff. So keep that in mind that you got to really wait till everything's fully dry before you can get a good idea of what your color is going to look like. So I'm going to set that right there. So because this leather is a little bit more wet, it looks darker than what it's going to look like, but it's still a good green. I'm going to go ahead and do my edges while I wait because I am impatient and I feel like I need to do something all the time. Because I'm not totally sure about the how that felt's gonna lay, I'm gonna go a little bit the inside of the leather just to cover my bases. It's tearing up my cotton dauber a little bit, but it's okay. Okay, and you want to do the side edges of your little strip as well, because that's going to be visible. You don't have to do the short ends, but honestly, that wouldn't make that much of a difference anyways. In the amount of dye you use. So it's not the most even that it could be. So I'm going to go in and do another little coaty coat. Get any little scragglies. And I'm just going to go in. Go in again. Get some more color. Do this front piece right here. Now the sides are already done. They don't need another coat. They just need to have some color on them. What's nice about embossing it first is that some of the excess color, if you put a little bit too much color in, will sit inside those embossed sections and darken them up a little bit, kind of enhancing the look of them. I'm just making this up as I go. I hope you all know that. So this is it on dry leather. You can see it's not quite that dark. So having that second coat is going to be really, really helpful. Okay, so now that I have done and gone over everything, I'm going to close up my dye really well. Make sure your dye is closed because this stuff is very liquidy. It's probably like 99% alcohol. It's ethanol, so well ventilated areas. Then we're gonna have to let this fully dry to see if the color that we got. Right now, it's looking like it almost black green, but I think as it dries, we'll need to see a really rich, nice green here. So I'm excited. And as you can see, the underside of the leather is still its natural color. There's still some where it was wet before. You can see kind of right here on the outside. Right there. This one was never wet, and you can see how light that is by comparison to something like this. So I have to wait for that to fully dry before I can do my edge varnishing. Edge varnishing is just really smoothing out the edges of the leather so that it gets a nice finish to it. It's not any places that you cut aren't you don't get that kind of like raw underside of the leather feel to it. It's nice and smooth. Looks nice and glossy. There's this product called Tokenol. Tokenol. Can't really say things well. I don't know why anyone would be surprised about that fact. But yeah, so that'll give, and it kind of also helps kind of meld the edges together so that they all look like all the leather looks like it's the same. But anyways, yeah, so that's gonna have to dry. Usually it dries pretty fast, but I unfortunately put on too thick of a coat, and it was wet when I put it on. So that's my bad, but you know, that's just how it is sometimes. Let's see how we're doing on this contact cement situation. Oh, that's gonna be a good adhere. So we're already seeing, yeah, that's gonna be good. Because I was worried for a little bit that this plastic canvas might just be like bouncing around in between the shell of the leather and the felt, and that's not what I wanted. So that is going to be really, really helpful. So what is going to happen is once this is dry, I'm going to start stamping the stitching holes for it. So there's a prong set where you stitch, where you hammer mallet in the holes that you're going to stitch through, and those are going to go. I'm going to do them on each side of the bottom. Now here because they went through 2 layers of whatever they used, um, they and hand sewed it and curled did their they curled the edges of whatever fabric it was or whatever. Um, they where is it going with this? And used a machine. They didn't have to poke holes and stuff like that. I don't really remember what I was doing with that. Who knows where I was going with that, honestly, um, but yeah, so this is going to be fun because this is going to be like a me as hell project. Um, so I'm going to punch the holes just for the bottom. Oh, so if I was doing exactly what they did, I would have to punch holes around the entire, like this entire large piece. However, because I'm just worrying about focusing on sewing this shorter piece to it, I don't have to worry about that. And I just have to sew up to where that the shorter piece is going to meet the longer piece. And I am going to poke some holes into this so that it can bend and go nicely around the front of this panel thing right here. So yeah, so it'll be stitch marked here, here, and then I'm gonna have to think a little bit about how I want to do this uh, because I'm doing the pleating, so I'm gonna have to get it re-wet once it completely dries, um, and I'm gonna have to kind of think about the pleating because the pleating I'll probably want to do as the leather is wet, just so I can get maximum flexibility out of the leather. Leather dye is great because it does not crack pretty much under most conditions unless the leather itself cracks, because it's actually changing the color of the leather rather than sitting on top of it like the acrylic paints that I used for the braided bracelet. So it's actually changing the color of the leather itself. But your leather is going to become more pliable as it becomes wet because you can see, like right now, if I try to like go 2 ways about it, like you can start to see that there's bend, but there's not a whole lot of like folding. But once it's wet, it'll fold a lot easier. Plus, this is not that thick of a leather itself. So hopefully we can get the kind of pleat that we want. If not, then we can always make it work, right? Here they're working with something that's so thin, it basically pleats itself. It's basically like folding a piece of paper towel in half. Whereas like this is definitely different. Definitely different. So I think that is going to be all my leather working for tonight. Now, I don't think that I'm going to need to punch. I don't think I'm going to need the contact cement to do the punching of the stitches. So this is what it's going to look like front and back. This is where the felt and the plastic canvas are. I don't think I'm going to need to do that because I can't imagine a needle not going through that. And I think that it'll actually just kind of make it a little bit harder to punch personally. But who knows? We shall see. Again, this is about experimentation, trying something new. I kind of like the fact that the smileys are all over the place, but I also kind of wish that I could have just done like my one central smiley. Um, However, the thing about the stamp that I have is it's really hard, like because it's just a circle, like, and I've got to mark what sides up and then what sides like what's like perfectly even. But also it's circular die, so it's getting it like perfectly even. In the middle is is challenging. If I don't have to worry about that because I can just punch or I can just stamp it a bunch of million times, then that's cool too because that's less kind of effort on my part. So, anyways, so that's what we'll call it a night for this for now. I'm gonna leave this as it is and throw this in the trash. Okay, so I might take like, let's see, it's 9 o'clock now, which is usually about the time I start my movie. Not quite sure what movie I'm gonna watch tonight. We're in our zombie era, apparently. I've only watched zombie movies. I've only watched one zombie movie, right? Did I watch two? What did I watch last? Mm. What did I watch last night? I can't even remember. I know we watched the Disney zombies movie. I'm not sure. Cheap viewers on. Yeah. Lydia, would you mind removing that for me? I do not want that. I can't remove that right from Restream, but I do not want that on my thing, and I don't also want to pay for people to view my shit. Like, they will come or they will not come. So weird. People are so weird. Anywho, but yeah, so that's fun. We've made some progress in about an hour. Looks nice. I managed to go unscathed, getting any dye on my hands, and then of course I pick it up while it's still like semi-wet, and I'm like, yeah, a little green on me. So I don't want to like stop it and restart it. So I wonder if I might just put a timer on because I might go outside for a sec. So let's see if I can change this right here. It might change my screen for a second. Hold on one second. Okie dokie. So I realized that comment was on my Twitch, so I have to go in and figure out how to remove things on Twitch, as I don't really do much on there. So I'm gonna try my compression gloves and try a little bit of Tunisian crochet. Oh, I guess I should probably, I don't know, I don't have as much, I got a little bit kind of a limited time frame on my uh, limited time frame on my chest binder situation. So let's try to go for that. Plus, it hurts my hand a lot. We watched Zombieland yesterday, didn't we? So next in comedy, we have Zombie Tidal Wave. Zombie Tidal Wave. And if you're asking yourself, is this really a movie? Yeah, it is. It's on. It's on. Oh, look, there's Shaun of the Dead. I should watch that too. That's a fun one. I'm kind of like, do I want to watch Dawn of the Dead and then Shaun of the Dead? They just have similar names. Like, they really don't actually have anything in common. But it's not coming up, even though I know I just saw the other day that it's on AMC Plus. Or is it on AMC Plus or Sci-Fi? It might be on Sci-Fi. Is Sci-Fi on AMC Plus? Ugh, I can keep track. It's too much shit. Zombie Tidal Wave. I was gonna do it again. There we go. Oh, Sci-Fi is not working right now. Poopy. Okay, so let's watch Shaun of the Dead then. Shaun of the Dead. Oh no, is it not available for anywhere for free either? Oh, no. Come on. Come on. This sucks. What about Dawn of the Dead? Okay, so Dawn of the Dead is on AMC Plus. Why is it saying that why is it giving me so much trouble about this? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna put my headphones in so you can't hear the TV. Dawn of the Divide. Okay, that worked. Nope. Dawn of the Dead. Okay, let's get back. to where I need to go. Boo, 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 boo. It said it was. Hold on one second. It's saying that there's no network connection to my Roku, which is really awesome because it's not like I, was trying to do anything, and this isn't what I've been trying to do for like 100 days or anything like that. Okay, let me try to restart my phone. See if that'll work. Sometimes when I restart my phone, it works a little bit, but I have a VPN on my phone that I can turn on, and so sometimes that'll mess with my ability to connect with my Roku, but who knows? Who knows? I really don't understand technology a whole lot, so just to be clear. Okay, so it says I'm connected now. Okay, and ta-da! Yes, Dawn of the Dead. I gave it to pay for viewers. Like, what does that say about? What is that? Why? I think that there are some really interesting people who don't get nearly enough credit for like how interesting what they do. Oh my gosh. Ugh. And I lost connection to my Roku. Within what? That was 20 seconds. This is annoying. This is definitely not one that I can log into on my computer. It says that I don't have wireless connection, but I don't know how that's true. Oh. It just decided to turn off my Wi-Fi and just use all my data. That's fucking annoying. Okay. Still saying that I can't connect to the internet. That's awesome. Because my laptop is currently on it. That's how you're seeing me right this second. My TV is on it. That's how I can see that my TV can play stuff. My phone, on the other hand, wants to go, just quit. Okay, no, it's this again. Now it says there's no internet connection. I don't know how this is possible. I don't actually know what's happening. I know it's really cool to watch me go through internet connectivity issues, so I thank you all for sticking it out, but this sucks. We might not be watching a zombie movie tonight because oh wait, do I do the 5G one? Hold on a second. Oh fuck! Ouch! What? Ouch! Oh, I rammed my knee into the corner of that desk. The thing's so hard. I'm like already bruised. Oh gosh. I didn't take off too much skin. It's just like instantly. Ouch. Oh. Okay, maybe it'll work this time. Hey, how when you it's like 5G and then it's not 5G. You have two networks and you're like, that's so confusing. I feel like this actress has been in like literally everything. I feel like a hospital is like the last place you would want to be. Zombie apocalypse happens. let's just. Oh wait, we're gonna do. Oh my gosh, me. Fuck. Getting into bed with your hospital ICU nurse clothes on, bad idea. No wonder there's a zombie apocalypse. Ow. We can get some action or warm. These do make it a little harder to grip onto the to grip onto the hook. So I'm trying to like work my way around that. Child zombie, naturally. Okay, do my chain one. And we're gonna go on our return. Turned super fast. Actually, there are a lot more parallels to Shaun of the Dead than I remember, which is fun because it's been so long. So. What does she have her car keys in her? Like, that's weird, right? He turned so quickly. You live on the first floor. There's explosions, fires, like everywhere. Everywhere. I think if I had it in me to Tunisian crochet, I definitely would invest in like a wooden set with cables because this like weight down here is just so much on my hand. Directed by Zack Snyder. I actually did not know that. Going to the mall. Going to the fucking Cheesecake Factory for the zombie apocalypse. Let me finish this. Get rid of that. So I can do this. And boom. Oh. The hand compression gloves definitely help my hands, not so much my wrist. My hands definitely. the makeup for this movie is. I wouldn't suggest standing in all of that slippery wet floor. I always like the attitude if you're going to shoot someone, particularly a zombie, like keep your eyes open. Okay, Liddy. I'm watching Dawn of the Dead. It's a zombie movie for the evening. Wanted to watch something a little funnier, but couldn't find anything. Yeah, so it is a long crochet hook. So this, it has an end to it. This is Tunisian crochet. Some of them have cables to them, and some of them are just longer crochet hooks with a stopper at the end, like a knitting needle, so that the stitches don't fall off the end. Hmm. I mean, if you know how to knit and you know how to crochet, it's very easy to learn. I watched a TL Yarn Crafts video or two and learned how to do it myself. I just learned how to do it. It hurts my hand quite a bit to do just because my wrist and hand problems, but you don't have the same problems. I think that you would enjoy doing it for sure. Ooh, let's, okay, great, party. Okay. Some stores will sell them, and you can get them on Amazon. So there's a kit. Um, so yeah, just look up. I'll type it out. So you can get individual hooks, or you can get sets. Some of them have cables. Some of them are just long hooks. I would watch a video or two about it before you order anything, just to see if it looks like something you'd like, and then also about materials that you'll want to use. Um, because like you'll want to go like a hook size up from or something from like what the recommended hook size is. Does Walmart sell them? I don't think so. She's definitely been bit. Um, so uh, you probably can get online. You can get like a set, but if you wanted just one hook, I think um, you would have to look somewhere else, like Amazon, to try it. Now, I think at maybe Michael's, I've seen a learn to crochet set that this stuff did come in, but I got this at a thrift store. So she's definitely gonna be a fucking zombie. How do y'all not see that? That's a fucking zombie, bitch. It's a zombie. She went down easy, just a fire poker to the fucking eyeball. Okay, so I think I dropped a stitch here. Okay, so they just figured out that the bites are. Okay, I'm gonna fuck a couple rows. Okay, so I'm gonna just working on your diamond art painting. Cool. What do you What's your diamond art painting of? Okay, it looked like I dropped. So trying to fix it, but I don't really know how to. Mm, two puppies, what my sister Amanda had, both of them passed away. Oh, that's a nice gift for her. Honestly, the zombie makeup is so good in this movie. So I think I might have fixed it well enough. Yeah, I've been on for like 2.5 hours. Started working with some leather. Started, um, and then started watching Dawn of the Dead. Let's see. Uh, uh, I'm an hour into that, so um, we'll see where we get to the end of this row, and then we'll see. I mean, everything should be dry and hopefully even. Doing good. Dawn of the Dead's always a fun one to watch because it's not a movie I think to watch that frequently. Um, Even though it's just a great, consistent zombie. It's just a solid movie. And there are so many different types of zombies that are just entertaining, entertaining to watch. How are you tonight? What are you working on? I had to frog like 6 rows, which kind of sucks, but it's hurting my hands like a little bit less. Famous loves words, but since I'm wearing my compression gloves, it's a little bit harder to get a grip on the aluminum hook, but it is um, it's definitely alleviating a lot of the hand pain that it takes to grip the hook. What you said, background with sparkles. Ooh, very nice. I love the sparkles. Love the sparkles. Okay, let's see how we're doing. Okay. Okay, so didn't get the most even dye. I think probably because I applied it thicker. It's still wet, which means it probably still needs some time to dry. Um, yeah, which it's kind of crazy that it's still wet. We have a job interview tomorrow. That's exciting. I know it can be nerve wracking, but it can be worth it. So you can see the outside is hopefully what it will be like. The leather was really wet when I started working with it, so because I wet it to emboss some smileys onto it, and it just like soaked. So it's really wet, whereas this is a lot more dry. And I think I have something to put on top of it to just make sure that color levels are the same thing. Oh yeah, this satin sheen leather finish. Thanks for showing it again. Oh, I love the smiles. Thank you. Yeah. Yes, I'm into the Tunisian crochet. They're not hurting as bad. Um, the the compression gloves are helping the hands quite a bit. The wrist and the elbow still are hurting, but but they are they're a little bit better tonight. So I've been able to do a few more rows. Oh, zombie baby. Definitely don't have the patience for diamond painting, so anyone who does, I'm always envious of. I did one diamond painting. I did half of it. I did it with someone else, so I did roughly half of it, and I was like, I tried to like start another one, but You never tried diamond painting? There's a lot of cool kits out there, different diamond painting. I did see there was one, like Amazon has some like diamond painting like coasters. So Mhm. Yeah, I feel like things like paint by number, sticker by number, like diamond painting is like a really relaxing activity, and it's pretty and sparkly. Okay, so I think I'm like right back to where I was before I had frogged a lot. So we're moving a little bit faster. Love things that sparkle. You can get diamond paintings at Michael's. Yes, you can. As far as I know, but your cheapest place to get it is going to be on Amazon. They charge up the ass at Michael's and Joanne, things like that. I know Joanne isn't available in Canada anymore, but like you can get it so much cheaper on Amazon. But if you just want uh, ease of access, yeah, they do. They should have some kits. But also, you get to like kind of pick your size and stuff like that. It makes it so good. chain at the side. That's such a fun part. This movie is so fun. Oh, I forgot. He's like, like what's it? Just full face mask. How she managed to avoid getting bitten. Okay, sleep tight. Good luck. I know you can do this. You got this. And I can't wait to hear how it went. You got this, Nifty. Okay, so I think I might be on one of my last rows of this for tonight because my hands are like. So, yeah, I don't want to kill my wrist. So, I think we made some good progress tonight with this. Just in time for the. Oh, perfect. I knew the number. So, this doesn't really have any stretch to it. mean, it's got just like its natural stretch. So hopefully we can get the results we want out of this fabric. Cool, Lydia. Thank you for hanging out with me. I always forget the like found footage at the end. Okay, so just ended Dawn of the Dead, classic zombie movie. I think they said it was 2003, and the makeup's so solid on this one. Makeup does get a little repetitive, but still, like, never like you never know exactly what you're gonna see, which I do always appreciate. In seeing, a lot of the zombie movies that I've seen in the past couple, like 10, 15 years, like, I can see so many influences of this movie on them. And granted, I know Dawn of the Dead was not the first zombie movie. I still feel like it's good to see, like, some of those, uh, see those ideas like pulled in to other movies and stuff like that. So I'm trying to think about little bits. That was fun. Yay, zombie movies are so fun. Cool. That was a fun time. Um, so yeah, so I think that just let me get Etsy with you. turn this off. You did a good job. And you are welcome. Oh. Thanks. Let's see. Okay, so it's still pretty wet. The leather is still pretty wet, which is insane because it dries so fast normally. I think it's just because of like how, remember when I like wet it at the beginning and I was like, oh my gosh, it's so wet. I just like soaked the leather, but I think that's good because I can do some like I can mold it like that. Um, and and give it some shape. But yeah, this definitely just stayed wet. I might take like a bit of a hair dryer to it, or just let it dry overnight. I mean, there's no rush at this point. I'm not going to be able to go in and do my stitch holes because it's late, and I would have to manually go in and do my stitches, my holes for my stitches, and I might do my, I said I wasn't going to do this, but I might go ahead and use my contact cement to do the felt and the the felt and the whatchamacallit on the inside, so that I can, when when it's time to sew it all together, it's just faster that way. But I was gonna wait for it to be completely dry, but I think it should be decent enough. Especially like I do have to do the top coat thing where I put the seal in the dye, the dye that I use, but that's okay. So yeah, I'll do that off camera. I'll probably let you go for the night. And yeah, I hope you all have a good night and thanks for hanging out with me. I'll talk to you later.